Hello, everyone. Welcome to a day in the life of a tech sales exec, where we speak to country managers and senior sales executives at IT vendors across Australia about their daily challenges and provide advice on how to really cut through to the technology and cybersecurity C-suite. Today, I'm joined by Nick Flood, and Nick is the Managing Director at IBM Australia and New Zealand. Nick, welcome, and thank you for joining me.
Byron, absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me along.
And it's great to have you here. Nick, how is 2024 shaping up for you so far? We're in April. It's going very, very fast. What strategies are you using to, I guess, show the value that you bring to organisations across Australia?
Yeah, Byron, it's a great question. So the context I bring to that is really the last 2 years have been 2 years of significant compounding growth for IBM in Australia and New Zealand, particularly Australia. When we forecast 2024 and beyond, I'm seeing that technology demand will continue to be very strong as clients and the government are looking to technology as a major driving force behind the global economic and their requirement to deliver growth. I see a renewed focus among boards and within the C-suite to apply technology to scale, offer better services, differentiate, drive efficiencies, and indeed seize new market opportunities. In the Australian landscape, technology is really becoming an ever-increasing and foundational source of competitive advantage. For IBM, our focus is really threefold. So we're looking to differentiate through the hybrid cloud proposition that we offer up to clients, acknowledging that there's an increasing use of the hyperscale cloud platforms, yes, but there's also emerging sovereignty, data security requirements that are serving to highlight the value of retaining some capability on-premise. And a real focus on being able to be agile and move between those two worlds. So that's one key focus area. And of course, artificial intelligence. With a rebrand of our Watson capability under watsonx, we're seeing significant interest among the ASX 200 to pilot that capability. I think that 2024 is going to be the year where that matures into real enterprise use cases for AI and generative AI in particular.
Nick, you did mention Watson. It's a name that I haven't heard for quite a while. I mean, it was several years ago now when you first came to market, and IBM was talking about Watson a lot, and there were people in Australia testing the platform. Where is it going now? What are organisations? What sort of I guess challenges will Watson help organisations with? Because it was an early AI technology. There was a lot of talk about it a long time ago, but where are we at with it now? And what are organisations, I guess, using it for, testing it with at the moment? How is it being used these days?
Byron, it's a really good question. I think the best way to answer it is, how does the watsonx family of products differentiate to some of the other generative AI capabilities available in the market today? And this is really aligns to Arvind, our President, Chairman, and CEO's philosophy for generative AI. So Arvind is very much of the view that the world that we're moving toward is one that won't be dominated by singular monolithic large language models or foundation models, but the best value can be accessed through organizations pursuing a very multimodal and hybrid approach to AI. So what does that look like? That looks like an organization having specifically focused and trained large language models and foundation models for specific tasks. And there's a lot of benefit in that. The research that I've consumed tells me a couple of things that are very relevant to organizations. So firstly, it's extremely costly to maintain these monolithic large language models and foundation models. So if you're more specifically targeted around what information and data resides in that LLM, then you can reap the cost benefits of it being right-sized to the particular use case that you're seeking to prosecute with generative AI. The second is that if you're very targeted around the information and the data that you're keeping in those foundation models, then the likelihood for a lot of the downside impact of Gen AI, like bias and model drift over time, is constrained significantly. The third When you think about some of the sovereignty issues and the data security issues that will come to define the world ahead, I
Mm,
think that organizations are going to be much more comfortable in an environment where they can have deployment model flexibility. There may be some information that they want to build into an LLM that they don't feel comfortable in having it reside
mm,
off-premise. They
mm,
may want that core enterprise knowledge or customer information, citizen information residing on a more secure infrastructure, potentially even behind their own firewall. So I
mm.
think there are three key ways in which IBM are engineering the watsonx product portfolio to meet a set of requirements that are both here with us now, but will become increasingly relevant over time.
Are there any particular frustrations that you and your team have at the moment when dealing with Australia's technology C-suite?
Look, I think the government are definitely going through a period of inspection or introspection,
Mm,
and that's serving to really disrupt some of the plans that we
hmm
may have been counting upon,
hmm
particularly around this breakaway from kind of common, reusable whole of government patterns
hmm
that were the zeitgeist of times past
Sure.
to now a more kind of best in breed for the particular use case and agency.
Mm,
So that's been disruptive in a way. However, I think it's a area that IBM can really thrive in because of that hybrid cloud archetype that we're aligning to. It's a space that we can really deliver significant value. But it certainly has been disruptive as the Australian federal government in particular have moved from one overarching architectural paradigm
yeah.
to a new set of paradigms.
Yeah.
The other frustration I would say is that there's a lot of hype about generative AI. And I think as a technology industry, both on both sides of the table, we really need to evolve it from the hype to actually find real enterprise use cases that deliver organizational and operational benefits. I'm
Yeah.
enthused, though, to see just how quickly we're moving from the hype curve into practical and pragmatic uses of this
Yeah.
technology. And it
Yeah.
fills me with confidence that it may be different to prior hype cycles where we're actually seeing the benefit translate. And that's, of course, important to the communities that we all serve and our employees live and work within.